Janet, I have good news. Huh? Susan, what's up? I've decided to move. Moving? Yes. I've been living alone for a long time, right? But now I'm going to have a lively life. Well, Janet, please prepare a room for me. What? If you can, make sure it's a room that gets a lot of sunlight. I get cold easily. Wait a minute, please. Susan, are you trying to move in? Yes. What's the good news in that? I said no to you moving in. What? You're the only one who said you didn't want to live together. I don't have time to listen to my daughter-in-law. Bob agrees with me. Even you agreed to it, didn't you? You... Janet, are you really Bob's wife? Huh? If you know how Bob, my son, feels, you wouldn't have come to that conclusion, would you? What do you mean? You are really dumb, aren't you? He's just being nice and holding back, because you are whining that you don't want to live with me. Bob is just trying to save face. You simply took him at his word. And you don't even try to understand Bob's true feelings. Aren't you an unfit wife? That's not true. We talked it over when we got married. We couldn't live with you. No, you just forced your opinion on Bob. Poor Bob. He really wanted to live with me, but he didn't want to get into trouble with you. I guess he had to reluctantly go along with you. That's not true. You're so selfish, pushing your own opinion, and you can't even think about your husband and your mother-in-law. It's been a year since you got married, and you still don't seem to have enough awareness of what it means to be a wife. Letting your husband take priority is one of the requirements to be a good wife. You need to learn to be a little more humble. Huh? But still, that's way too sudden. Why did you suddenly decide to move? A contract with my apartment is about to expire. To renew the contract, you have to pay the renewal fee. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to move out and move in with you guys. You don't have to be stingy with the renewal fee. What are you talking about? It's a big burden for a pensioner. Besides, you live in such a big house. I, the mother, have to live in a small apartment. It's just not right, is it? That being said, you have to keep your promise. Janet, please stop it. You are Bob's wife, right? Yes, but... Being Bob's wife means it's as if you became my daughter. As a daughter, it's natural to take care of your parents, right? Yes, it is. That's why we sometimes visit your apartment. We eat together and I help you with the housework. You think that's enough? Well... You must think it's insane to let an old mother live alone. What if I collapse in my apartment? And if it's too late to find me and the worst happens, it'd be your responsibility. No. You'll be fine. Bob told me that your health checkup last month was very good. You can't rely on medical checkups. You never know what might happen to an old person. No matter how healthy you are, you might trip on a step and fall. You can't keep talking about being old just because you want to move in. You often boast about how young you look, don't you? And you get so angry when people treat you like an old person. That's not what I'm talking about. Oh, I can't get anywhere talking to you. No matter what you say, we are going to live together. Even if you say so, we don't even have an empty room. Don't lie to me. It's such a big house. I'm sure there are plenty of empty rooms. They're all occupied. Well then, I'll take your room. What? How inappropriate for a wife to have her own room. No. I sometimes work remotely. I need my own workroom. Is that the trendy remote work thing? You're so sassy to work at home, even though you're a woman. Yeah, well, what you're saying is messed up. Remote work has nothing to do with gender. Don't pick a fight at every turn. I mean, we live in a house. Ugh! Shut up! Talking to you irritates me. Susan? Yes, this is the end of my chat with you. If you send me any more texts, I'll ignore them. Well then, excuse me. Bob, is this a good time? Sorry if you're still at work. It's okay. I just got off work and I'm on the train. What's up? I just got a call from Susan. Mom? I guess she still hasn't given up on the idea of moving in together. Seriously? I told her when we got married that we weren't going to live together. I thought we explained to her why we couldn't live together. But she still wanted to live with us. So I tried to explain the situation again. But she ended the conversation one-sidedly. Right. It's like she doesn't want to hear what I have to say. Was I wrong to say that? No, it's not your fault. Mom has always been self-centered. She's always yelling and trying to get her way. Sometimes she cries, sometimes she rants. That's why my dad got fed up with her and they divorced. Yeah. I'll talk to her again. I'll tell her we can't live with her. That will be great. I'm afraid she's going to try to force us to move in with her someday. I'm sorry. My mom's selfishness got us into a lot of trouble. No problem. I'm grateful to you. I'm the one who asked you to listen to my selfishness when we got married. That's not true. We decided on this together, didn't we? I'm almost at the station. Let's talk about it when I get home. Yeah, come home safely. Janet, today is Sunday, so you're off work, right? I'm off. What about it? The weather is nice and it's a wonderful day to move in. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm moving there today. No, wait. I told you many times that we don't want to live with you. But I already sent you my stuff. Please don't reject it. Oh no. Thank goodness. Now I can live comfortably starting today. You can't just send your stuff to us. Oh, yeah, you'll get about 10 cardboard boxes on delivery. You'll take care of the payment there. What are you doing? We don't have room for 10 boxes. Why don't you just pile them up in the hallway? I'll be out of here by noon. Then I'll put my stuff in my room and clean up. Your room? We don't have a room for you. Oh, no. You haven't prepared a room for me yet? Isn't it obvious? Neither Bob nor I have agreed to live with you. Well then, please put the boxes in your room for now. It's going to be my room sooner or later. I don't want to. You know, why are you being so mean to me? You live in such a big house. You should have at least one extra room. And just because you don't want me to live with you, you lied about all the rooms being occupied. We live with my parents. What? My parents, Bob and I, the four of us live together. What? What's that? You're living with your parents? Since when? We've been living together since the beginning of our marriage. That's a lie. I told you before. I can't believe it. You refuse to live with me, but you let your own parents live with you? No, it's not that I'm letting my parents to live with us. You're such a lousy wife. Mom, that's enough. What? All of a sudden? It's me. It's Bob. Bob? I've been sitting next to Janet reading your texts to each other. That's good. Huh? Poor Bob. You really want to live with me, but Janet's selfishness kept you away from me. And then she made you live with her parents? What? What's that? I've been telling you all along that I agree with Janet. I told you repeatedly that I don't want to live with you. Bob, it's okay. Huh? You don't have to hold back for her anymore. You've put up with enough. Huh? What are you talking about? Come on, just say it already. You really want to live with me, your mother. No. What are you really saying? I'm scared. My point is, don't be shy with Janet. Reveal your true feelings. You are the owner of the house. There is no reason for you to hold back in your own home. Huh? Janet, you're so brazen. Your parents are just as brazen as you. Trying to force Bob to live with your parents just because he's so nice. I wonder if parents and children have similar personalities after all. Wait a minute. What? Mom, could it be? Do you think I'm the owner of this house? What? Yes, I do. Aren't you? I was so surprised when I saw your new house. You bought such a big house right after you got married. I'm so proud of you. I knew it. I knew it. No, I'm not. What do you mean? This house is Janet's parents' house. Janet's parents' house? That's right. That's why her parents live here together. You're lying about this being her parents' house. It's such a new house. It looked like a new house. I think it's because they did some major renovations shortly before Janet and I got married. Remodeling? Janet's father fell ill a few years ago. Due to the after effects, he became wheelchair-bound, so they made the house barrier-free. It's hard for her mother to take care of her father by herself, so we decided to move in together. Oh, is that right? That's why the house is in her father's name. No matter how big a company I work for, there's no way we can afford a house this big, this early in our marriage. Didn't I explain everything to you when I married Janet? I'm sure Janet told you that too. Did she? I'm so stunned. You don't remember anything that doesn't suit you. You were so excited about the house. You complimented me on how great it was. I told you that this was Janet's father's house. I told you that Janet's parents and you couldn't live together, so I asked you to live in an apartment. You were going to stay in the apartment. Janet and I would visit you from time to time. Oh, wait a minute. So you are forced to take care of her father? Janet is such a terrible wife. Forcing you to live with her own parents and then forcing you to take care of them. You know what? Don't say Janet forced me to live with her parents. I decided to move in with her parents after a thorough discussion with Janet. But he only has a limp, but he can eat and use the restroom normally. Usually her mother takes care of him. Janet and I just help out a little. But I'm still not convinced. She came here to marry into our family, but she only takes care of her own parents. I can't forgive her for taking care of her own parents and leaving me alone. As a wife, she should put her husband's parents before her own parents. That's why I don't want to live with you. What do you mean? You don't want to live with your mother? If we live with you, you'll force your old values on us. We'll be stressed out. Stress? It's really stressful when the loudest voice is the one who doesn't agree with our values. That's why, if your package comes, I'll send it back. What? Well, I'm not living with you? I told you from the beginning that we don't want to live with you. Besides, even if we did live together, can you work or help take care of him? What? Why would I have to do that? It's only natural if we live together. But I have a pension, so I don't have to work. I don't want to take care of a stranger, even if he's my son's father-in-law. There's no merit in living with such an unemployed spender. An unemployed spender, you say? How dare you say that to your own mother? I know why you want to live with us. What? When you and Dad divorced, you got all the money from the property division. You spent it all, didn't you? What? The pension is coming in regularly, but at the rate you're spending it, it's not enough. So you are planning to stay at our house and have us take care of your food, clothing, and shelter. And then pour all of the pension money into fun, right? That's... You know, Mom, do you understand that I'm married into her family? Huh? You forgot? I thought it was weird. This time too, but the last few times you've sent me a parcel, it's been under my bachelor name. You know, you married into her family. Why? You were the reason, and you just forgot about it? What? Me? When you and Dad divorced, Zach thought you'd be worried about living alone. I think you snubbed his wife who agreed to live with you out of love for your son. No. He got mad and told you to move out and kicked you out, didn't he? Well, you see... That's why you had to live alone in a small apartment. When I got married, you wanted to move in with me this time. But I've seen what happened to my brother, so I said I'd never move in with you. That's what I declared when we got married. Also, Janet is the only daughter of an old family, so I'll take her last name. I told you that. That's how you got to where you are now. Huh? You seem to be against me changing my last name at first. Zach took over our family name. Our family has 2 boys. You reluctantly agreed to let me take her last name. Is that so? It was a year ago, so I forgot. You really don't remember everything that's inconvenient, do you? Anyway, I'll send back all of your stuff that's on its way here. Wait a minute. Why? You know I can't live with you. No, I mean, this apartment? I have to leave at the end of the month. You didn't renew your lease? I can't afford the renewal fee. You can afford to move out. It can't be helped. I have very little savings left. If I pay the renewal fee, I won't be able to move out. Oh. So I have no choice but to move in there. I don't need my own room. Just let me put my stuff there for now. Mike should be there soon. Who's Mike? Your brother, Uncle Mike. Mike? I expected this would happen. I've been talking to him about you for a while. When you texted Janet, I called him in a hurry. He said he'd be right over. Wait a minute. I don't like Mike. He's been so strict with me since we were kids. He'd yell at me for being selfish. I never wanted to see him again. That's why I asked Uncle Mike to help me. He's the only one who can make my pushy, selfish mom do what he says. He said he'll take you in, so wait there. No, absolutely not. If I live with him, the stress will drive me crazy. You're lucky you have a place to live. I'll see you later. Wait for me, Bob. Shortly after this, Bob's uncle arrived at Susan's apartment. It seems that his uncle put the crying Susan in his car and took her to the countryside where he lived. He made her do housework and work in the fields. She is so exhausted every day that she doesn't have time to complain. Sometimes, she texts to complain to her son Bob. Bob has decided not to deal with Susan until she's completely remorseful. As for me, I am living a peaceful life with Bob and my parents. Bob and my father seem to get along well, and they often enjoy drinking and talking together. Seeing such a scene makes me feel happy from the bottom of my heart. And I am glad I married him. I never thought you were this kind of woman. How dare you deceive me like this? Huh? What's wrong all of a sudden? What's wrong? I can't marry you. I'm breaking off the engagement. Hey, what's going on all of a sudden? We just made a reservation for a wedding venue yesterday, didn't we? And now you're suddenly breaking off the engagement? What's going on? How am I deceiving you? Explain it to me. Your parents got remarried, didn't they? I just found out from a friend. Yeah, what's the deal about that? What are you freaking out for? What's the deal with that? Isn't that an important thing? Why keep it from me until now? I'm sorry. I had intended to share it with you at some point, but I never seemed to find the right moment. And well, my parents remarried when I was in the 6th grade. After that, having both my dad and mom around just felt normal to me. This is no joke. I'm sorry, but I refuse to marry a poor woman. What poor? You were raised by your mother alone until 6th grade, weren't you? And isn't it often associated with financial struggle? Your childhood experiences have a direct impact on your adulthood. So essentially, growing up in a financially disadvantaged single-parent household means you'll always face financial challenges. Look, that's a stereotype. Sure, I had a rough time growing up money-wise, but since my mom remarried, we've been doing okay. And hey, I've got a steady job now and occasionally treat my parents to nice things. So, being perpetually broke? No, not me. That's a mindset typical of poor people. What? Why even bother sending them snacks? I get it. You're talking about buying a car or a house, but really, being grateful for a few dollars worth of snacks just shows you've got a poverty mindset. It's the thought that counts, isn't it? Do you ever do something nice for your parents? I wouldn't waste my time with those little gestures. My family's doing fine, unlike yours. We don't really value those kinds of things. And hey, you're just a regular office worker in some small company. You don't even get paid that much. So don't act all high and mighty, okay? I wasn't trying to act superior or anything. You're really putting me down, aren't you? Look, being with you feels like I'm catching a case of broke. So I'm calling off the engagement as of today. I've already canceled the venue reservation. Don't bother contacting me again. Luke, wait. Let's not rush to conclusions. Let's talk it out. There's nothing to talk about with you. No. Bye. Well, well, what a surprise. I never expected you to leave the company. Luke, how do you know about that? And didn't you tell me not to contact you anymore? Don't be so cold. I reached out because I was worried about you. What's wrong with being concerned about your ex-fiancé? I won't say it's wrong, but it's kind of creepy. We're supposed to be done. And honestly, I'm not comfortable with you reaching out like this. Sure, we're broken up now. But until recently, we were still considering getting married. Just because of that, you're digging into my business? I never mentioned to you that I left the company. We were in the same group back in college, remember? I still keep in touch with our college friends, so news travels fast. Are you stupid? What? You don't see why? You're already struggling financially, and now you're quitting your job? How are you going to make ends meet? Are you going to end up homeless? Or are you planning to rely on welfare? It's neither of those options. What do you mean? Why do I have to tell you? My future has nothing to do with you, right? I just feel like it'd be kinda crappy if a girl I almost married ended up on the streets. Didn't think your struggling spirit would take it that far.
No need to worry. Even though I quit my job, I'm still working part-time.
What? Part-time job? Are you losing it because I broke up with you? You can't possibly survive on just a part-time job, right? Oh, wait. Are you trying to leech off your dad or something? You and your mom were struggling, and your dad came to the rescue. Now you're just stuck in the same cycle as an adult. See? I told you. Once poor, always poor, huh?
Your way of speaking hasn't changed, has it? Sorry to burst your bubble, but let me set things straight. I've got some savings from my time as a company employee, so I'll be okay. And there's a solid reason why I left the company, just so you know.
Why did you quit then?
It's none of your business.
What's your deal? Boring bitch. Forget it. Just typical thinking from someone broke, right? No big deal.
Is that all you wanted to say?
Nope. There's more. I've actually started dating this girl I met at a party. She's 2 years younger than me and really adorable. And get this. Her family seems pretty well off, unlike yours. If things work out, it's like winning the lottery. Ha 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 ha.
Good for you. Okay, bye.
Whoa, hold on. What's with the cold shoulder? Can't I just give you a little update on what's been going on?
Are you messaging me just to mock me? Your condescending attitude towards poor people hasn't changed since 6 months ago, huh?
Haha, no way. I've got a new girlfriend, and I still care about my ex-fiancé. Can't you appreciate my kindness?
Mind your own business. Well then, I have to head to work soon. Talking to you is a waste of time. Leave me alone.
Yeah, whatever. Good luck with your low-paying job. Even if you work hard at your part-time job, poor folks stay poor forever, huh? Regina, you're incredible. I'm so impressed. So, I've already reached out to the venue. We're going for a visit this weekend.
The venue? Who is this?
Huh? Don't tell me you forgot about me. It's Luke.
I'm sorry, but with just the name displayed, I can't determine which Luke you are referring to. Could you provide more context or information?
Are you kidding me? I told you, it's your ex-fiancé, Luke.
Oh, that Luke.
That's right. I've been telling you.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize. If there's anything else I can do to help, please let me know.
Geez, you're a heartless one for forgetting your fiancé.
Hell no. I'm not your fiancé anymore. Stop calling me that. Going to the venue? What the hell are you even talking about?
Oh, come on. Don't be shy. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I have no idea.
I heard you have your own company now. That's incredible, especially for a woman in her 30s.
Wow, you're really nosy, huh?
I was surprised. The last time we spoke, you mentioned quitting your job and working part-time. So I assumed things were tough financially. Did you leave your job to start your own business?
That's right. I was preparing to start my own business while working part-time. It was tough in the beginning when I first set up the company. But thanks to the help of many people, the business is going smoothly.
I've always seen you as a capable woman. Looks like my instincts were right all along.
What are you talking about? Wasn't it once poor, always poor, remember?
Come on, don't be so touchy. You started your own business for my sake, didn't you?
What?
Because I said I couldn't marry someone poor. You were so eager to marry me that you started your own business and became wealthy, didn't you? And look at you now. You're so successful. I'm blown away by your dedication. Let's tie the knot again and give it another shot.
Huh? Wait, are you saying you want to marry me? Is that why you brought up venues?
Of course. 10 years ago, we were practically engaged, remember? We even had venue visits booked. Let's pick up where we left off then. I understand you're busy as the CEO. I'll be there to support you. I'd even become a stay-at-home husband if needed.
Wait a minute. I thought you had a cute younger girlfriend.
I broke up with her a long time ago. It didn't even last a year.
Oh, I thought you were trying to get married.
That didn't work out. I thought she was from a nice family, but she wasn't. She tricked me. She's another gold digger.
Ah, I get it now.
I was played. I never imagined she was also after a wealthy partner. And then she showed her true colors, shouting and behaving so crudely. It was like the epitome of being poor. I can't believe I got involved with such a woman.
Well, I think it's mutual, don't you? So, did you dump her?
She dumped me before I could break up with her. Apparently, she's not interested in marrying a low-paid office worker.
Oh, that's too bad.
I do work for a big company, but my paycheck isn't bad either. But apparently, being a mid-level employee in your mid-30s doesn't cut it for her.
Wow, she's pretty harsh, huh? Considering you're from a pretty well-off family. I bet your personalities clashed so much that even money couldn't smooth things over, huh?
So don't worry. I'm single now, so I can marry you anytime. In fact, I'm already making preparations for it. Like I said earlier, we're checking out venues this weekend. And if you're busy, I get it. But shouldn't you at least try on some wedding dresses? So try to make it if you can.
Huh?
Man, I'm already looking forward to the wedding. With you being the CEO and all, we'll probably have a lot of guests, right? I've already booked the biggest venue in town.
Hey.
Where do you want to go for our honeymoon? How about the Maldives? Or maybe Europe? Since you're covering the expenses, I'm up for whatever you choose.
Whoa.
I'd love to have 2 kids if possible. With your financial support, we could build our dream home right after tying the knot. And play catch with the kids in the spacious backyard. Maybe even have a big dog roaming around freely. Just picturing it makes me all excited.
Excuse me?
What? What's wrong? Are you not a dog person? But I've made up my mind that once we tie the knot, we're getting a place with a yard and a dog, you know? We'll build a spacious home. And as long as we keep the dog out of your workroom or any other areas you prefer, it shouldn't be a problem, right?
I love dogs, but that's not the point. And marrying you is completely out of the question. Could you please stop with your unrealistic fantasies?
Unrealistic fantasies? I'm just making plans for our future together.
Our plans? You're just talking about your own desires.
Regina, there's no need to be shy. Be true to yourself.
Are you serious?
But hey, didn't you work hard to start your own business just to impress me? Growing up in a poor single-parent household and then becoming wealthy on your own as an adult, you really went all out for me, huh? But hey, you're already in your 30s. If you keep hesitating, you might miss out on having kids, you know?
I am married and I already have my own family.
Huh?
I can't marry you because I already am. But even if I weren't, let's be real. There's no way I'd marry you.
What? You're married? When? With who?
7 years ago, before I started my business, I attended a convention. My husband was one of the lecturers at that time. We have 2 kids, by the way.
Wait a minute. Getting married and having kids without even discussing it with me? What the hell do you think you're doing? And to think you started your own business for my sake, why would you do something like this?
What? Whether I get married or have children is my business. Why should I have to consult with you of all people?
I'm not a stranger. After all, we were engaged 10 years ago.
10 years is long enough to make someone practically a stranger.
But I still love you. I can't forgive you for getting married without my permission.
What? You ended things with me, so why the sudden interest? You've spent your life belittling those less fortunate, and you even mocked my parents.
It's because you were poor that I had to break up with you. But you got rich for me. That's why I'm saying we should get back together.
First of all, I didn't do all of this for you. I worked hard for myself and my parents.
You're the only one I love right now.
I don't care what you say. Leave me alone.
Just leave your husband and be with me.
Huh?
Wouldn't you feel more secure marrying someone with a stable job like me, rather than being with a lecturer? Like you said earlier, I'm from a pretty well-off family. If you want to take care of your parents, I can buy them a house or a car. Think about it. Remarrying me would lead to a happier life, wouldn't it?
Not really.
What?
I'm financially independent. I don't plan on relying on my husband. Plus, he earns a lot more than you think. Just because you work for a big company doesn't guarantee stability. And seriously? Still bragging about mommy and daddy's wealth in your 30s? Come on, that's just sad.
No.
My husband is kind to my parents. He's the best partner I could ask for. We support each other in our work. We can even afford to spoil my parents with a house, a car, and a top-notch lifestyle. There's no reason to break up at all.
Then what about my feelings?
Huh?
I love you. I can't imagine marrying anyone else. I'm pushing 35, and everyone around me is settling down. I'm ready for that family life too.
Why don't you go out there and find someone else to marry then?
Because they're not you. Please marry me.
You're such an asshole.
What did you say?
You left me because you thought I was poor. Now that I have money, financially better off, you come crawling back? You say you love me, but isn't it just my money you love? 10 years ago, you looked down on me for being poor, and now you're trying to cozy up to me? Talk about having no pride.
No, I don't. I really love you.
You're just a waste of time. Leave me alone. Goodbye.
Regina! Please marry me. I know you love me too. I'll wait for you at the wedding this weekend. Please come. Regina, you didn't come to the venue. I was waiting for you.
Oh God, Luke?
What? What's wrong? Why are you so surprised?
I messed up. I totally forgot to block you.
What the hell? You're so rude.
You've got to admit, it's kind of creepy. Did you honestly believe I'd go check out the venue with you? I'm never going to be with you. Not now, not ever.
Fine. I understand. I give up on marriage.
What?
I want to work for your company.
Huh?
I'm currently unemployed.
You quit your job?
Yes, I did.
Why?
I had a heated exchange with my boss. I got really emotional and handed in my resignation letter. They accepted it. I thought someone would try to stop me, but they went ahead and processed everything immediately. Damn it. I didn't expect I'd actually end up quitting.
Well, you voluntarily quit, so you can't do anything about it. But you have your wealthy family to fall back on, right? You don't need to rush into finding a new job, do you?
Oh, well, it's not like my family can help much. My dad got wind of me quitting in a fit of rage, and he made it clear I should own up to it myself. He told me not to depend on them anymore.
I see.
So I chose to work for your company.
You chose to? That's quite condescending.
You'd surely welcome someone as talented as me on your team, right? Having someone you know makes work easier, doesn't it? I work hard.
Listen.
So, when do I start? I can work anytime. I'm all set and ready to go. I mean, I'm your close friend, so maybe I can start at the manager level?
I refuse.
What?
We have enough employees.
No way. I'm an elite who worked for a major corporation until just recently, you know. And I'm your ex-fiancé, remember? You're just going to abandon me?
It's been 10 years. That's ancient history. I'm not obliged to hire you.
No way.
And besides, you claim to be so talented. But if no one tried to stop you from leaving the company, then you weren't that great, were you? Starting from the position of a regular employee and expecting to jump to the level of a department head is just ridiculous.
What are you talking about? I may have been just an ordinary employee, but I was at the top of my class. I made significant contributions to the company.
There must have been some other issue. Anyway, we won't be hiring you here. You'll have to look elsewhere.
Oh no. Help me out here. I'm in trouble.
I don't remember you helping me.
Regina, please. I don't care if it's part-time. Just hire me.
We have enough part-timers, so please find somewhere else.
It has to be your company.
Huh? Why does it have to be my company? There are plenty of others out there. You've got skills, right?
But no one will hire me.
Oh.
After leaving my previous job, I went through a round of job interviews, but I kept getting rejected. Seriously, it's unbelievable. To think that companies would reject someone as talented as me, who came from a major corporation. None of those hiring managers have any idea what they're doing. Sure, there were a few places that offered me a job, but they were all offering positions starting from entry level, not even manager level. I declined all of them. Who do they think I am, turning down a super elite like me?
Well, it wasn't about whether you're an elite or not. They probably saw right through your personality.
What do you mean?
Looking back on your behavior, isn't it clear? I wouldn't want to hire someone as arrogant and self-centered as you. You'd just be a disruption at the company. We don't need you.
I apologize for everything I did. Regina, please hire me.
I've told you multiple times I don't want to.
Marry me then.
I don't want to do that either.
Well then, if you're not hiring or marrying me, at least send me a monthly allowance.
Why would I do that? Are you dumb?
I apologize for calling you poor and making fun of you. I'm sorry for dumping you too. I've genuinely reflected on my actions, so I need your help. My savings are running out. I'm seriously in trouble.
If you're in need of money, you should be willing to do any kind of work, right? There should be plenty of job options available if you're not picky.
Are you suggesting I do manual labor? Give me a break. That's work for poor people. It's beneath someone as talented as me.
You can stay spoiled like that forever, but mark my words. Someday, you'll regret it when you're truly broke. Anyway, I'm blocking you now. Goodbye.
Regina, wait! Please, don't abandon me. I thought you loved me. Regina, please, help me.
After that, Luke had to bite the bullet and start working at construction sites. He wasn't thrilled about taking orders from younger people. He ended up making fun of them, calling them poor and whatnot, which led to a heated confrontation. He only lasted 5 days. He ended up crawling back to his parents' place, begging for help finding a new job. Finally, he landed something in customer service, but he's not too happy about it. He still got this thing about not wanting to work with poor people. I bet he won't stick around there for long either. Hey, Rose. I just saw your text. Sorry it took me a while to reply. I've been busy today and I'm barely having my lunch.
Ah, here we go again with the I'm too busy excuse.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I feel sorry for you. You have a shitty job. Caregiving is such a hard work, but you don't get paid enough. I don't know how you do it.
Yes, it is hard work, but I love doing it.
Stop lying to yourself. They don't even let you get a break until now.
That's because we prioritize the residents' lunchtime. I often have my lunch around this time.
Right, poor thing. I couldn't handle being treated like a slave for such crappy pay.
Slave? No, that's definitely not the case. I eat breakfast late, so having lunch late doesn't bother me at all. Anyway, what can I help you with? What's the reason for reaching out?
Oh, about my lunch today? What the hell was that?
You didn't like it?
You expect me to like that shitty lunch? Do you think I'm stupid?
What? I double-checked and even tasted some before packing your lunch. I thought it was fine. I'll make sure to do better next time.
Seriously? The lack of color is just too unappetizing. There's way too much brown, don't you think?
Really? Didn't I put spinach and cherry tomatoes to add some color? I thought I did a good job, but...
Besides, it tastes salty and soggy. Are you seriously trying to embarrass us with such a lunchbox? Is that really what you want?
That's not my intention.
Did you even try it yourself? If you did, are you seriously that clueless about taste? I can't believe it's this bad.
Sorry.
Do you really think just saying sorry will fix everything? How about putting more effort into making it actually taste good before apologizing?
I do try my best in my own way, you know.
Oh, come on. Is that your idea of effort? That's hilarious. Well, I suppose it's understandable. Dealing with older folks all the time, huh? No wonder your taste buds are a bit off.
Rose, joking about me is one thing, but I won't tolerate making fun of the residents.
There you go again, being a hypocrite. You might put on a good face, but we know you're intentionally serving us bad food to annoy us. Honestly, you're such a pain.
Rose, isn't that a bit too harsh? I do my best with chores and work, you know. I don't get why you have to talk to me that way.
Hey, isn't it because you're on a low income that you're working so hard? That's probably why it's affecting your private life, and you're only able to cook bad meals, huh?
Why do you hate me that much?
Oh, you finally get it, huh? Why would I even like you? With your income, you should at least be good at cooking. But nope, you can't even manage to make a decent lunch. You're just so useless.
Useless? I'm neither your maid nor your slave.
Ugh, you're seriously annoying. Always making excuses when you can't do anything. I'm so done with it.
Why do I have to put up with all this from you?
If you don't want to be criticized, why not make better food? And don't even think about talking back until I give my approval. Clear?
Understood.
Hey, what are you doing? I need to talk to you. Pick up the phone already. Do you even remember what phones are for?
Sorry, Rose. I just saw your call and text. Is everything okay?
Emily, finally! You're still at work, right?
Yes, but...
Good. I need you to stop by the mall on your way home.
The mall?
I ordered some stuff online from the store's website. Turns out, both the clothes and the bag are available for pickup today. Since I really need them right now, could you do me a favor and grab them for me?
Why me?
Why not just swing by the mall on your way home?
If I could, I'd stop by. But it's quite a distance away, and it's in the opposite direction. It'll add an extra hour to my journey home. Plus, I still need to make dinner. Dinner will end up being late. Is that all right with you?
Huh? Of course not. You do realize that Mom and Dad, who are getting older, really look forward to dinner, don't you? And here you are, unable to cook anything decent, yet still planning to make them wait? It's just unbelievable.
I don't want to keep them waiting either, so that's why I'm saying it's difficult to make a detour to the department store.
Are you talking back to me?
I didn't mean it that way. Can I pick it up on my next day off?
You just don't understand women at all, do you? It's like we're from different planets. I need it right now. Waiting until your next day off just isn't an option, okay?
I'm sorry, but it's either the department store or dinner. I can only prioritize one.
Ugh, you're so useless. Fine, go to the mall and get my stuff.
Huh? I can't keep your mother and father waiting.
Who the hell do you think you are?
What do you mean?
I'm saying don't think about the dinner. Nobody's expecting your shitty cooking anyway. So, we've decided to eat out tonight. Remember how Mom's been wanting to go to that sushi place? Well, tonight's the night we're splurging and going there.
Oh, that place? Isn't it like around $100 per person for the basic course?
What's your point?
You're not expecting me to pay, are you?
You're the one in charge of cooking, remember? Since your cooking skills are, let's say, lacking, it seems fair that you cover the cost, doesn't it?
That's not fair. We make a conscious effort to save money in our everyday lives. It would be quite difficult for us if we were suddenly expected to splurge like that.
Ugh. Seriously? Your stinginess is so annoying. You know what? Unlike you, my husband is actually successful. Yet he's forced to deal with your crappy lunches, and it's a real nuisance. It's annoying. Don't you feel sorry for my husband? If you did, you'd at least feel like treating us to a decent meal once in a while, wouldn't you?
That's so fucked up.
Listen, unlike you, my husband graduated from a prestigious university, and he works at a well-known local company. He's not like you, a high school graduate who's stupid. Totally different, okay?
Stupid?
Anyway, we're treating ourselves to some good sushi. Make sure you pick up the clothes and bag I ordered, understood?
I got it. But just so you know, I won't be covering the bill, all right?
Hey, Emily, did you take a look at the pictures I sent you? Don't pretend you didn't see them because I know you did. You have until this weekend to pay up, all right? Got it?
Sorry for the late reply. I'm just taking a break now.
Okay, I get it. Your constant busy act is seriously getting on my nerves. Enough already.
I didn't mean to upset you. If I did, I'm sorry. I've just checked the pictures now. What's the invoice for exactly?
What do you mean? Isn't it obvious? It's clearly a credit card bill.
I know that. Why are you sending this to me?
'Cause I want you to pay for it.
What? Why me?
I mean, we're more than just sisters-in-law, aren't we? We're practically sisters. But I'm really strapped for cash right now, so I could really use your help.
If you didn't have the money, why did you use the card? $3,000 is a lot of money. I can't afford that. And what did you even spend that money on in the first place?
Oh, you see? Remember those bags and clothes you picked up the other day? They were from my favorite brand, so they were quite expensive. And then, I treated myself to a fancy French meal recently, so that's also included. Oh, and I almost forgot. I used the card to pay for a spa trip with my friends too.
All that money was for your extravagant spending, wasn't it?
It's just how it is, right? Women need to invest in themselves and stay young. You're a woman too, so you get that, don't you?
I get where you're coming from. Even so, $3,000 is quite a lot. Anyway, I can't afford it, so please figure it out yourself. If it's really impossible, why not ask my brother for help? He's your husband, so please discuss it thoroughly with each other.
Are you trying to diss my husband? You think Daniel doesn't make enough money, do you?
I don't think that way at all.
Listen, Daniel is way more competent than you'll ever be. If you dare to insult him again, there will be consequences.
I'm not insulting anyone. If you think he's so capable, then shouldn't you rely on him even more?
I'm offended by the way you're talking to me. You're just someone who's undereducated and can't even do your job properly. You can't even pay my bill, so don't even try to tell me what to do.
Huh?
Don't you think it might be in your best interest to switch to a company that offers better pay? Just a thought.
It's none of your business. That is my brother's company.
What? Still got something to say to me? Can't even whip up a decent lunch. Yet you've got quite the attitude.
We're not talking about lunch, are we?
It matters. Anyway, I need you to send me $3,000. If you don't, I'll kick you out of the house.
It's a bit sudden, so I'm not sure how to respond.
Well then, just listen to what I'm saying. See you later.
Hey Daniel, do you have a minute?
What's up, sis?
Your wife reached out to me. She's asking me to send her $3,000 to pay her credit card bill.
$3,000? She spent that much again?
Seems like she's been going all out on bags and clothes, all in the pursuit of staying young. And she even mentioned going on a spa trip.
And she even brought up going on a spa trip with her friends.
You need to do something about this. Do you even have that kind of money?
Yeah, but she never listens to me when I try to stop her.
Huh? She's your wife. No one can stop her but you.
All right, I'll remind her to be more careful with spending from now on. Could you cover it just this time?
Huh? Why me?
Come on, Emily. You've got money, right? I'm really struggling here, barely making ends meet, and I'm dipping into my savings just to get by.
I worked so hard for my money. Why should I have to spend it on her?
If you're not keen on it, why don't you talk to Rose directly?
We both know she won't listen to me, which is why I'm asking you to talk to her.
Ugh. She doesn't really listen to anyone, does she?
This is serious. Anyway, I'm not willing to pay $3,000. I think it's best to have a proper conversation with your wife about this, including discussing future arrangements. Otherwise, you will end up burdened with the debt in the long run, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Like I said, she's your wife. You have to talk to her. It's better than me talking to her, so please.
Okay.
Emily, what do you think you were doing?
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb with me. You told Daniel, didn't you? He found out I used $3,000 on my card. You told him to talk to me, and now you're saying you can't pay for it.
Yes, I did.
Why? You could have just sent me the money. Now look.
I've told you multiple times I can't pay it for you.
What? How useless are you? Even Daniel couldn't stand you.
My brother hates me?
Yes, he really didn't want to say anything to me, but you kept nagging him, so he had no choice but to talk to me. How does it feel to be hated by your own brother? It must suck. You, with your low income and incompetence, have the audacity to speak against my brilliant husband? You should just keep quiet and do as I say.
Rose, you really don't know anything, do you?
Huh? What are you talking about? I understand perfectly well that you're incompetent.
Continuing this conversation with you will only frustrate me more.
I'm tempted to ask Daniel to cut ties with you, considering you're so useless.
Are you sure you want to say that? You might regret it later, you know.
Are you kidding me? I won't regret it at all. In fact, I'll feel relieved. Just get out of the house already, you and your husband. I never want to eat your awful food again.
Okay, are you sure you want to do this? I'll talk to my husband about it and we'll move out soon.
Wow, surprisingly cooperative of you. It's quite rare. Please do it as soon as possible. Emily, what the hell is going on? Pick up the phone.
Hey, didn't we cut ties already? We did as you said and left the house. We're practically strangers now, right? It was tough enough being asked to live together by our in-laws. Living together was tough, especially with the added pressure of cooking meals for everyone. But now that it's just my husband and me, things are much more comfortable.
Whatever. I heard that Daniel got fired.
I see.
I see? When I talked to Daniel about it, he said you were the one who fired him. What's the deal? How do you have the authority to do that? You, with your high school education and caregiving job, can't possibly have the power to fire him.
It's true that I work as a caregiver, but I'm also the facilities manager. I don't understand why you always seem to belittle me.
Huh? You're the manager? Can you please stop lying?
I'm not lying.
But you work on site, right? You prioritize the residents' lunches, sometimes having your own meal later in the day.
I believe that first-hand experience on the front line is crucial for understanding the operations. So I am involved in both caring for the residents and managing the facility.
I didn't realize you were the president. So I know you're making more money than Daniel. But what does that have to do with Daniel getting fired?
Oh, so my brother hasn't mentioned anything to you, huh?
What do you mean?
It seems like you're underestimating me because of my role as a caregiver. But just to clarify, Daniel has been employed at our facility for a year now.
What? There's no way. Daniel is a smart man. He works for a top-tier company.
I remember Daniel was working for a top-tier company, but he got fired due to some issues at work.
Issues? What kind of issues?
Yes, my brother used to go on a lot of business trips, right?
Now that you mention it, it does seem like he hasn't been going on business trips lately.
He got caught altering his business trip receipts to claim more money than he should have. They found out and fired him from the company.
I didn't know that.
He would leave the house every day to spend time in the park or cafes, trying not to be obvious. I knew about it, but he begged me not to tell you anything. Job hunting was tough for him. Nothing seemed to stick, and he got pretty down in the dumps. Feeling sorry for him, I offered him a job at our facility, which he gratefully accepted. He's been with us for a year now, but it turns out he was sneaking into the facility's office and stealing money from the safe. Despite being sued by his previous company, and I thought he had learned his lesson, it seems he hasn't. I think he has a problem.
He was sued? Did he really do it? Maybe it was somebody else.
The clerk mentioned discrepancies between the records and the cash, so they installed security cameras. And there, My brother's face was clearly captured, so it's not a case of mistaken identity.
Emily, if you believe Daniel has an issue, why not support him? He's your brother. I won't mock your profession anymore, so please, don't let him go.
So, it was you who wanted to cut ties and kick us out, right? And didn't Daniel also say he hated me? I don't feel obligated to help someone who feels that way. Plus, even though we're siblings, I'm the one in charge here. I simply can't overlook having a thief within the facility.
Oh no! Even though things might not be great now, he had a good salary at his previous job. Why would he falsify receipts?
Did you know that Daniel was addicted to gambling too?
Huh? Gambling? That's a lie.
He started playing poker online to kill time. But then, he started to lose control. He started pouring almost all of his allowance into it, but even that wasn't enough to satisfy him. Eventually, he crossed the line and dipped into the company's funds. We've already taken this matter to the authorities for assistance.
What? The police?
Of course, he stole the company's money.
I can't even pay my own credit card bill. And now I have to deal with my unemployed husband getting arrested? How am I supposed to survive this?
I don't know.
Don't be so cold.
I helped him out when he was in trouble, despite all the harassment he put me through. But now, after finding out that my brother stole from the facility, I have absolutely no intention of helping him. We've cut ties with you both, so please don't try to contact us again. I'm blocking both of you. We've moved, so we won't be seeing each other anymore.
Emily, I'm sorry. I've been an asshole. Please help us.
Hell no. Goodbye.
No!
My brother was arrested for embezzlement and had to pay a hefty fine. To cover the fine and my sister-in-law's mounting credit card debt, he borrowed money from our parents. Unfortunately, this led to our parents cutting ties with him. Meanwhile, Rose, who used to work part-time while relying on financial support, has taken on multiple jobs. She's working from dawn till dusk. Despite her hard work, most of her earnings go toward repaying her parents, leaving her with little to spare. As a result, she can't afford any luxuries and even struggles to enjoy decent meals. According to my cousin, Daniel and Rose are constantly fighting every day. It might just be a matter of time before they get divorced. I'm committed to striving for a comfortable environment for our residents in the facility. I'll give it my all, both on the ground and in managing the operations.
Janet, I heard you gave birth yesterday. Bob told me.
That's right, Susan. I'm sorry it took me so long to call. My water broke before my due date. I rushed to the hospital, and the birth was a bit of a mess.
I don't mind that. I hear the baby is a girl.
Yes, a girl. She's a healthy girl, just like Bob.
Huh. How can you tell who she looks like? She's a newborn.
Well, she really does look like him. Please, come and see her sometime.
What? Who's going to see her?
Oh no. Susan, aren't you happy about the birth of your grandchild?
Because it's a girl, right?
What's wrong with our baby being a girl?
You're dumb, aren't you? Did you think I'd be unconditionally happy just because a grandchild was born?
No,
Janet, don't you have something to say to me?
What is there to say?
An apology. An apology.
Huh?
I'm sorry I gave birth to a girl. You should apologize to me, my husband and Bob.
Why should I apologize? Boy or girl, they're your grandchildren. They're important members of your family.
Family? Are you joking?
What?
I think you already know. The baby you've given birth to is our first grandchild. The first grandchild must be a boy.
I've never heard that before.
Listen, Janet. My family has been running a company for generations. The eldest son is supposed to take over. Bob is the eldest son. I need you, his wife, to give birth to a boy.
But in this day and age, there are many female presidents. I don't think the eldest son has to be the president.
Are you challenging your mother-in-law?
I'm not trying to.
Let me tell you clearly. You're an unfit wife if you can only give birth to a girl. When you're discharged from hospital, I want you to go back to your parents' house. Don't ever cross our household again.
Huh? Does that mean I should divorce Bob?
That's right.
No matter how much you want it, isn't that terrible?
Well, your most important role as a wife is to give birth to a boy. If you can't fulfill your duties as a wife, you'll have to divorce.
You're being too extreme.
Janet, look at reality. You'll be 40 soon. Maybe you think you can have a boy next time. Even if you start trying for a baby now, it's probably impossible to have a second child.
That doesn't mean...
Well, it's just after the birth. We can talk about divorce when you get out of the hospital.
Please, don't go ahead with the conversation on your own. I don't think even Bob would agree to this. He said he doesn't mind whether it's a boy or a girl, as long as they're born safe.
How can that be Bob's true feelings? He's a kind boy. He was just trying to be nice. I'm sure he really wanted a boy. He must be deeply disappointed that it was a girl who was born.
No, Bob isn't like that.
You don't know anything about Bob, do you?
Huh?
Bob has loved football since he was a kid. When he becomes a father, he dreams of playing football with his children. He once told me about it.
I see. But girls can play football too, right?
Don't come at me all the time. You really aren't very nice at all, are you?
Huh?
Actually, I've been looking for his next wife, anticipating this.
What?
The truth is, I was against you getting married to Bob. I wanted a younger, honest, and lovely wife for him. Bob married a woman 5 years older than him. Even so, since Bob insisted on marrying you, I allowed it. After all, an older wife is no good. She won't listen to her mother-in-law, and it's hard to get pregnant. And when she finally had a baby, it was a girl. I'm going to get rid of a cocky, useless wife like you. I'm going to find a girl who's younger than Bob and still capable of having children.
That's something you decided on your own, isn't it?
Well, I haven't told Bob yet. I'm sure he'll be happy. Bob would prefer a younger wife, of course.
I don't think so.
Oh, God. It's so annoying how you argue with me every time. Anyway, we don't want a wife in our family who can only give birth to a girl. You should know your place and let Bob go.
I'm sorry. Can I be excused now?
Huh?
Talking to you is stressing me out and it's making my milk supply worse.
Oh, God. That's a terrible thing to say. I can't believe you treat your mother-in-law like she's a bad person. That's why he shouldn't have married an older woman. I knew I had to get you and Bob to divorce right now.
Janet, how are you feeling? How's the baby? I'm heading to the hospital as soon as I finish work today.
Thanks, Bob. Me and the baby are fine, but...
What's wrong?
I got a text from Susan this morning.
What could it be? Did she say something terrible to you?
Yeah.
What? I told her not to mess with you right after you gave birth. I thought I had warned her. I'm sorry for her always bothering you. What did she say this time?
She told me to apologize.
Huh? Why should you apologize?
Because I gave birth to a girl instead of a boy, even though she's decided that her first grandchild will be a grandson, she said.
No. I've never heard of a rule that says the first grandchild must be a boy.
I can only give birth to a girl. I'm an unfit wife, so she also wants us to divorce.
Divorce?
You're the eldest son and will take over the company. She wants me to have a boy. She's looking for your next wife, too.
What? What's that?
She says it's better for you to have a younger wife. She said that Bob thinks so, too.
Give me a break. I don't have the slightest intention of divorcing you. I don't even care about the gender of the baby.
I see. Then I'm glad.
Come on, there's no way I'm going to do what she wants.
I knew that, but maybe it's because I'm mentally unstable after giving birth. But when Susan told me so strongly, I got really worried. But since you said it clearly in your own words, I felt relieved.
Yeah, I'm going to protect you and our daughter as a husband and father from now on. I will never divorce for that reasons like Mom insists.
Thank you, Bob.
Speaking of which, you're leaving hospital next Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We should be ready to welcome the baby home by then.
Right, yeah. It's just...
What? What's wrong?
Susan told me to go to my parents' house after I'm discharged. To be honest, I don't want to see her for a while, until I'm feeling better. I thought maybe I shouldn't go home until I'm feeling better.
You're right. Mom even asked for a divorce.
It's like she wanted a male grandchild so badly. I'm really worried about what she might do to our kid.
Right. Well, I'll talk to Dad about it.
I'd appreciate that. But I wonder if your father would be disappointed that his grandchild is a girl.
I don't think so. Unlike her, Dad doesn't seem to be obsessed with the gender of his grandchildren. As for my mother's snubbing of you, it seems to bother him a lot. I'm sure he'd be happy to talk to me about it.
Okay.
I'll stop by the hospital in the evening.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
Janet, I heard that today's the day you're discharged from hospital.
Yes, it is.
I'm telling you, you don't have to come back to our house.
What do you mean?
Oh, I told you before, didn't I? You and Bob are getting a divorce. I've sent all your stuff to your parents' house.
Oh, to my parents' house?
That's right. Bob is getting a new wife now. We can't keep his ex-wife's stuff forever, can we?
Huh? So I should just go back to my parents' house?
Yes, you can. Yes. But as you'd expect, I'd feel sorry for you if I kicked you out for free. I'll pay you alimony.
Huh? Alimony?
How about $150,000?
Huh? That much?
In exchange, promise me you'll never come near Bob again. Well, maybe it's too high. But if we can have a clean breakup with his useless wife for $150,000, it's a small price to pay.
Does your husband know about the alimony?
I haven't told him yet, but I'm sure he'd say he doesn't want a daughter-in-law who can only give birth to girls. I'll give you $150,000 in alimony, then divorce my son as soon as possible.
I'm glad. Thank you very much.
What?
You've helped me a lot.
Huh? Are you so happy to get compensation?
No, I can't receive money like $150,000.
Then what's so helpful?
That you packed my bags. I thought it'd be hard to organize things with a newborn. Thank you for your kindness.
Janet, do you understand?
Understand what?
You're happy to go to your parents?
Of course.
You know, You're divorcing Bob. You'll have to raise the kid by yourself from now on. It's not something you should be happy about.
Oh, about that. I heard that Bob wants to talk to you.
Oh, Bob?
Yes, he's going to call you now.
Wait a minute. Isn't Bob at work?
Well then, excuse me.
Janet, wait.
Just as I predicted. I thought you'd text me on the day Janet left the hospital.
Hey, Bob. Where are you now? You're supposed to be at work. Don't tell me you're at the hospital with Janet.
That's right. I took a day off today and came to pick up Janet.
Huh? Why do you have to pick up Janet? You guys are getting divorced soon.
I know.
Then why are you... You're not a couple anymore. Why don't you let your parents pick up Janet?
You know what, Mom? Who decided that the first grandchild in our family has to be a boy?
What?
I've never heard of a rule that the eldest son takes over the company. Was it in the work regulations?
That's...
It's all something you came up with on your own, isn't it?
Well, you must be disappointed that Janet gave birth to a girl, right? If the eldest son didn't have a son and didn't have an heir, and the company would go out of business.
I don't care about gender at all. Dad doesn't think the next president of the company has to be the eldest son.
That's a lie. In fact, you're supposed to succeed your father as the next president. Then who will be the next president after you? Your eldest son must be the next president.
About that, I've decided not to be the president.
What?
I'm going to work for Dad's company, but it doesn't mean I'm still going to be the president. He's never been a big fan of hereditary either.
I won't allow such a thing.
It's not a question of whether you'll allow it or not. It's just a coincidence that the eldest sons have taken over the company. Dad himself doesn't think that the next president has to be the eldest son. He said he thinks a woman is fine, as long as she's capable.
No. It's impossible for a woman to be the president. That's exactly what would destroy the company.
That's your prejudice. Times are different now. You know, this is a medical thing, but the gender of the baby is determined by the father.
Really?
So it's wrong to blame Janet for having a girl. The idea that it's okay to have a boy and not okay to have a girl is in itself an anachronism. It's extremely old-fashioned.
Bob, you said earlier that you won't become president. Are you planning to quit your father's company?
I'm quitting.
Your father won't allow you to do that.
I've already told Dad.
What?
Don't worry. I've already found a new job.
Where are you going to work?
A company owned by one of Janet's relatives.
Huh? Janet's relative?
Yeah. Janet's uncle is the president. One of his employees had just left, and they were short-staffed. He approached me.
Wait a minute. You're divorcing Janet, aren't you? That's crazy. I can't believe you're working for your ex-wife's relative's company.
I've decided to remarry Janet.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm getting a divorce, just like you said. Let me remarry and do what I want.
But you're going to marry your ex-wife again? Why would you do something so pointless?
I've decided to remarry and take Janet's surname.
What?
I really didn't want to get divorced, but to change my surname is unavoidable, isn't it? Well, would it be just a divorce and a remarriage on paper?
Don't be silly. You're the eldest son in our family.
That's why I decided to change my surname.
Huh?
As long as I keep my family surname, you'll never get out of the outdated way of thinking, will you? You probably won't stop picking on my wife until you die. So I should just change my surname and leave. Maybe that'll wake you up.
Oh no, that's not good. Your new wife is coming to our house soon.
You know what? That's just another thing you decided on your own, isn't it? Our neighbors are talking about you. You've been talking to every young woman you can find, asking them to marry me.
But we're a famous family that's run a company for generations. If I asked them to marry you, of course everyone would be happy.
Everyone is annoyed.
What?
Yesterday, when you were at home, we received a complaint. Your mother is pestering my daughter, she said. I know she's joking, but can't you do something about it? I apologized to her. I'm embarrassed. Please, don't bother everyone again.
I see. I thought they were just being reserved.
Well, I'm taking Janet and my little girl to the place we're moving to.
Moving? I thought she was going back to her parents' house.
She thought about going back to her hometown, but decided not to. Janet's mother works too, so she's busy. She'll just pick up her stuff, but she won't live with her parents.
Then tell me where your new home is.
I won't.
Why not?
It's my job to protect my wife and kids from danger.
What's that? Are you saying I'd harm Janet or my grandchild?
You've been badgering Janet a lot in the past. Just to be safe, I'll keep her away from you.
Why don't you let me see my grandchild at least once?
How can you say that? When my daughter was born, you didn't come to see her because she's a girl.
Wait,
I don't want the $150,000 in alimony you said you'd pay Janet.
what?
You were going to borrow money to pay it without telling Dad, weren't you? Janet doesn't seem to have any intention of accepting it from the start either. Well then, goodbye.
Bob, wait!
I didn't have any contact with my mother-in-law after that. According to my husband, she divorced my father-in-law and now lives alone. My father-in-law had always had a problem with my mother-in-law's insane behavior. She tried to get Bob to divorce me because I gave birth to a girl. She also tried to get Bob to remarry with a neighbor's daughter without permission and did other crazy things. Finally, he gave up on her. Now, my mother-in-law has reflected on her own behavior, and she's trying to get my father-in-law to get back together with her. My father-in-law is very angry and has no intention of forgiving her. My mother-in-law will probably spend the rest of her life alone. My husband's brother, her second son, has also always avoided her and hasn't seen her in years. As for me, I live happily with my husband and my daughter. I'm having a hard time raising her because I'm a first-time mother. My father-in-law sometimes comes to visit me and takes care of her. I am very grateful for that. Hey, David. Why are my clothes and furnitures are outside? What's going on?
What do you mean, what's going on? Since you don't need it, I'm getting rid of it.
Getting rid of it? But I never said I want to get rid of my stuff. You can still use this chair too.
You're still going to use that? Then take it.
Take it? It's not like I'm going to move out. I'll take this back inside.
What? You're still going to stay here?
Huh? Well, this house is old and maybe moving in the future one is one possibility. I understand we need to tidy up the house since your mother is away. But it'd be a problem if stuff got tossed without asking me. We've got other priorities, right? We promised to sort out her belongings today. That's way more important than my things.
Oh, you don't need to get involved in that. Just leave it as it is.
Huh? Leave it as it is? Wait, where are you right now? Are you at the store or something? Hurry back home.
I don't want to.
What?
Since you're done taking care of my mom, I'm divorcing you.
Huh? What are you talking about?
The funeral for my mom went well. It's been over a month already. Your duties as my wife are over. So it's time for you to leave the house. That's why I put all your stuff in the yard. Feel free to take anything you need from there.
I don't get it. Why would I need to divorce you just because I finished caring for your mother? Please, don't be selfish.
Yeah, I guess I owe you an explanation.
What in the world is going on?
Just so you know, I actually have a son with someone else.
What?
Of course, I'm still with her.
Huh? What? You were having an affair?
It's not really an affair. The one I really loved, my true soulmate, wasn't you. It was her.
What the hell?
My son's starting high school soon. Thankfully, we didn't have any kids together. And now that my mom's care is done, I want to split with you and marry the mother of my son. That way, he won't have to deal with single parent stuff and there won't be any gossip. It might cause some drama if my mom finds out, but now that she's gone, I can live freely with my real family.
Wait a damn minute. So because I was overwhelmed with your mother's care, we couldn't have kids, right? But meanwhile, you were passing off your mom's cares to me. And having a kid with someone else? And to top it off, you're saying your affair partner is your true love? Do you seriously think I'm just going to let that slide?
Look, it's just the way things are. Since we got married, you stopped caring about yourself. You don't care about your appearance. You hardly ever wear makeup. Do you really think anyone could keep loving a woman who's let herself slide like that? It's impossible. If you want to feel like a woman, at least dress up once in a while. Honestly, I regret marrying you. I thought I was marrying a pretty girl, but instead I got a woman who doesn't even care how she looks. I feel like I've been tricked.
Seriously? You're saying that to someone who was caregiving? I spent entire days looking after your bedridden mother, trying to make myself as available and accommodating as possible. I made sure to wear clothes that were easy to move in. And as for makeup, in a situation where I was basically doing solo caregiving, there was no way I had that kind of luxury. Before you complain or whatever, did it ever occur to you to lend a hand with the caregiving? Your mother would have been happy to have her son, you, helping with her care.
I'm working and exhausted, you know? It's normal for you, as a stay-at-home wife, to take care of things at home. Maybe, if you tried to care more about yourself, I might have felt like helping you out. But you are just useless to keep around at home besides being a caregiver. Anyway, I'm going to live in this house with her and our son, so you need to leave right away. Until you're out of the house, I won't be coming back there.
Are you being serious?
Of course I am. My son's already enrolled in the local high school. Once we file the marriage papers, we'll officially be a family. I'll send out the divorce papers soon.
So that's how you repay me after I spent 20 years caring for your mother?
All those years of caring for my mother, and now you're no longer useful. Get lost. The house will go to my girlfriend and our child. Don't get in the way of our happiness.
Wow. I see. Well, then I have conditions for the divorce.
What is it?
We've been saving together since we got married, right? We had around $100,000 in our joint savings.
Okay, what about it?
Give all of that to me.
All of it?
In exchange, I won't ask for any compensation for emotional distress.
Compensation?
So you think you could just get away with it? You seriously underestimated me. You have the nerve to cheat, but you didn't think you'd have to face a claim for damages, huh?
No.
I'm no expert, but if your son is starting high school now, that means you've been betraying me for at least 16 years, right? And now with this secret child situation, if we involve lawyers in this situation, I think you'll be asked for a much higher amount than usual. Obviously, I'll be seeking compensation not just from you, but from your cheating girlfriend too. Even if we split the joint savings and each get $50,000, after paying compensation, you'll be left with nothing. Not to mention the legal fees.
What the hell?
So, what are you gonna do now?
Well, fine. I'll give you all the money. But you better sign and file the divorce papers by the end of this week.
Okay. Well, come to think of it, ever since I was left to take care of your mother all on my own, being married to you just didn't make sense anymore. Getting divorced will be a relief. So, let's both just live life the way we want.
Once we file for divorce, I want you to leave immediately. Just go as far away as possible and don't ruin our family's happiness. And if you try to interfere, I won't forgive you.
Won't forgive me? Are you okay? Do you really think you'll have your happy ending?
Huh? What?
I understand about the divorce. Well, considering spending my old age with a husband like you, maybe this is for the best after all.
Wait a minute. What were you trying to say?
Okay, I'll get back to you once the divorce papers are filed. Go ahead and toss out all the furniture in the yard as we discussed. Funny how using things from the house we shared suddenly feels kind of gross, huh?
Harper, what the hell?
Hi, Olivia. Thanks for being at my mother-in-law's funeral. I need to discuss something with you. Can we meet up?
Hey, Harper. Is it about your getaway trip with David? As someone who works in the travel industry, I can hook you up with the perfect plan. After those 20 years of caregiving, you both could use a break. Why not take a trip abroad and unwind together?
That's not going to happen.
Huh? What happened?
I'll tell you the details later. But for now, David was having an affair.
What?
And guess what? He even has a son who's starting high school soon. It seems he only saw me as a caregiver, and his real affection lies with them. Now that his mother's gone, he wants to live carefree with his girlfriend and son.
Oh my gosh. What the hell? So are you guys getting divorced?
Oh, I've already agreed to the divorce. I'm getting all the savings from our joint account, and that's that.
Are the lawyers involved?
I decided to skip involving lawyers. Thankfully, I won't face financial struggles post-divorce. Having some savings in our joint account has been quite a relief.
I see. But it feels like there should be more consequences, you know?
I know, right? But anyway.
What's up?
About the house, David plans to keep living there with his girlfriend and their son. He tossed my stuff into the yard and kicked me out.
What? But isn't that house...
Yeah. For me, it's been 20 years of dealing with mother-in-law issues while also caring for her. And this is how it all ends.
Right. Just come over and we'll talk.
Thank you, I'm on my way. David, I just submitted the divorce papers.
Good.
I've already moved out, so you have to take care of your belongings yourself.
My stuff?
I left everything there as it is, so it's all still there.
Obviously. Taking it would be outright theft.
Right.
I'm submitting the marriage registration today. And the day after tomorrow, we're off on our honeymoon.
Honeymoon?
We're bringing our son along, so it's more of a family trip. We plan to unwind until our son starts school.
Wow. Throughout our marriage, it was all about caregiving. We never got to go on a trip together.
It is what it is. Who in their right mind would travel with an old hag like you? Traveling is all about enjoying time with your loved ones, right?
How rude. I see that's how you've always felt about me.
Shut up. We're divorced already, so stop making a fuss.
You're right. I'm about to head out to my own place now. Goodbye.
Hey, what the hell? Do you even realize what you've done? Harper.
What? I'm taking responsibility for my actions, unlike you, who cheated for over 16 years. You're so reckless. Isn't it unfair to contact your ex after divorce, especially to your current wife?
That's beside the point. You're taking this too far. It's getting borderline harassment.
Harassment?
Why is the house listed for sale as soon as I come back from the trip? This was supposed to be our home for my family. What have you done?
Huh? What are you talking about? You can't live there.
Why? Selling the house without permission is a crime. You're that jealous to do something like this. You're truly a twisted, bitter old hag.
Your permission? The house was in my name, so I had every right to do it.
Huh?
Oh, did you forget?
What?
The house was originally inherited from my parents, and we renovated it when we got married. Remember?
Oh.
Then when your father passed away, your mother just moved in without even asking, saying she didn't want to be alone.
Was it really like that?
Yeah, so that's the deal. You were acting all high and mighty, telling me to get out as if it was your own place. Huh. Even though I reluctantly agreed to your mother moving in, now you're still trying to stick around with your side piece and secret child? Seriously? You're the one trying to take over property in someone else's name. So who's really out of line here?
Well...
Oh, by the way, since you went on a trip without moving your stuff out, I ended up storing everything in a nearby rental storage unit. I got rid of all my belongings that were left in the yard, but you'll have to handle your own stuff.
Wait a minute. I don't have a place to stay if you sell this house.
Why don't you move in with your new wife?
The lease for that apartment has already been terminated. She gotta be out of there by the day after tomorrow.
Oh my, oh my. You and your partner are just so reckless, aren't you? Perfect match, I'd say.
This is not the time for that. We've got nowhere to sleep tonight. Hey, is there anything we can do about this?
Anything?
Can you arrange something so we can live here?
Oh, it looks like there's already someone lined up to buy that house.
What?
You might get reported if you stay there too long.
Huh?
I explained the situation to the neighbors before I moved out.
What?
The neighbor is quite the talker, so everyone probably knows you're not living there anymore. And I also mentioned you might return with your partner and son. So by now, the neighbors are probably peeking through their windows. Quite the show, huh?
You are so petty. You're diabolical.
I'm diabolical? You dumped the caregiving of your mother onto me, leaving me no time to have children, as I devoted myself to caregiving day and night. But you didn't stop there. You went ahead and had a child with someone else. Doing this betrayal right after the caregiving was over is just awful. You've really hit rock bottom as a person.
There's no need to be harsh.
You deserve it. It seems like you still don't understand the extent of what you've done. I can consult a lawyer now and consider getting compensation.
That's not what we talked about. Did you trick me?
You were the one who tricked me and betrayed me first. Why are you playing the victim?
No, I messed up, so don't be too mad, okay? Look, you've been a housewife all this time. Aren't you worried about future expenses? If you want, we could still live together.
I wasn't just a housewife.
Huh?
I've been working from home alongside caregiving for about 10 years now. I can earn enough to support myself, so you don't need to worry about that.
What? I didn't know anything about that.
I told you I was starting work. You seemed half interested, so I figured you probably didn't remember. Guess I was right.
Wait, hold on. How could you possibly make that much money? You've got nothing but caregiving skills. Working from home should only bring in pocket change, if anything.
That's quite a statement coming from someone who's soon to be without income.
What do you mean?
Your company said you're fired.
What?
This trip was actually reported to the company as part of a work tour, with you as a tour guide. But it's really just a family vacation. That's bound to cause some issues.
How did they find out?
My sister works at the same travel agency you do, in compliance.
What?
Did you forget about that too?
Well,
it's no longer my concern since we're divorced. You'll have to figure things out on your own from now on.
Oh, come on. What am I going to do now?
Why don't you find a hotel to stay at?
I don't have the money for that. Most of my budget went into our trip. Now that I'm out of a job, I can't even make my credit card payments.
Oh, I see.
Harper, please. I'm begging you. My son is set to attend the high school nearby. If we can't live in this house, it's not just me, but the whole family that will be in trouble. And how do I even begin to explain it to them?
Just be honest for once. Well, if they're the loving family you claim they are, they'll understand, right?
That's impossible. Hey, you know, there's hardly any inheritance for Mom.
I'm loving my job right now. Just let me do my thing, okay?
Harper.
Well then, goodbye. David confessed everything to his wife and son. But it ended in a big fight when they realized they couldn't live in their dream home. Word got out, and neighbors came to watch. They left, feeling embarrassed. The wife's family knew about the daughter's affair and considered it a disgrace to the family. When they went to ask for money, they got yelled at and sent away. So they ended up moving to a tiny, run-down apartment. David got fired, but found a new job to support his family. However, his new salary is much lower, so now his wife and son have to work part-time too. This has caused a lot of tension in the family.
Hi, Carrie. Thank you for your hospitality today. Actually, Tom was a little worried about whether I would get along with his family.
so I was a bit nervous myself. But you welcomed me warmly, and I was relieved to see that Tom has such nice and kind parents like you and Jack. I feel like part of the family now.
Huh? Part of the family now? Don't get ahead of yourself.
Sorry?
I only pretended to approve your marriage because Tom wouldn't give up, and Jack supports him. Getting married without telling me is simply unforgivable.
Well, that was Tom's idea. He knew you wouldn't approve of our marriage, so we went ahead and got registered. He wanted us to start living together soon, but I insisted that we should at least greet you before that. I felt it was the least courtesy to have you guys attend our wedding.
I won't allow you to have a wedding. I don't even recognize you as his wife.
Oh no, what did I do wrong? I'll try to improve whatever I can.
Not that you can improve or anything. There's something fundamentally wrong with you.
Fundamentally?
To start, a woman who can't even handle basic housework shouldn't be married. Having a wife with no skills is just a pain.
Can't handle housework properly? Well, Carrie, respectfully, I've lived alone and managed all the household chores myself. Plus, I enjoy cooking, so I've been cooking for myself every day. I plan to do the same when I move in with Tom.
You're going to quit your job, aren't you?
Huh? No, I won't.
See? Women are expected to be full-time housewives after marriage, taking care of the home and catering to her husband's needs. It's common sense. I'm saying if you can't do that, you're not cut out to be a wife.
In this day and age, it's normal for both spouses to work. Many couples share household chores too. Besides, Tom understands my job. I work from home most of the time, so I have more flexibility to handle housework compared to someone who works in an office.
Don't boast about your job. You're not well educated and don't have a good job anyway. Just quit already.
Not well educated?
Yeah, that's right. You only graduated from middle school, and all you can do is work from home. It's sad to cling to such a lousy job. And people will think that Tom doesn't make enough money. If you don't become a housewife, he'll be embarrassed.
He respects my job, and I take pride in doing work that only I can do. It's a shame you don't understand.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You just stay at home and call it a job.
I do work at home.
If you talk back to me again, I'll do whatever it takes to get you two divorced.
What?
You're my son's wife. You have no place in our family. Tom and Jack may be on your side now, so you act all bossy. But if your in-laws demand a divorce, you have no choice but to comply, right?
No. Tom and I will discuss and decide what to do in that situation. We're adults, and we have the right to make our own decisions. I don't think we just blindly follow everything you say.
Huh? Why are you talking back like this? You're my son's wife. Ugh, I'm so angry. You don't deserve Tom. I'll never allow you to have a wedding. I'll make you get divorced.
Now I see why Tom didn't want me to visit your place. I don't think there's much use in continuing this conversation, so I'll take my leave.
Hey, hold on. Don't just walk away. If you continue behaving like this, I'll have to take action. Hey, why aren't you at home at noon on a weekday? If you were someone's wife, you'd be home cleaning at this hour. Don't tell me you're skipping housework and goofing off. Ugh, it's awful. The rooms are so messy. I stepped on some weird cloth and slipped and fell.
Huh? Wait, what? Carrie, are you in our house?
Yes, I am. It's my son's house. Nothing strange.
How did you get in there? I didn't give you a spare key, did I?
I borrowed it from Mia.
What? Tom's cousin Mia? I told her not to lend you the key.
Oh, yeah. She was stubborn and wouldn't lend it to me, so I took it without her noticing.
You mean you stole it, right? What do you want with my house?
Originally, I thought I'd give you a little wife training. Since you've been slacking off on your chores, I'm going to change my tune.
It's not slacking. I'm at work. I'm usually home most of the time, but I'm at the office today for a meeting. Hey, Carrie, don't do anything weird, okay?
I'm not going to do anything weird. I'll do what I have to do.
What are you going to do? Don't touch her stuff without permission. Look what I found here. Hey. Hey, Carrie, what have you done? Where did you put the wedding dress?
Oh, hi, Nancy. Have you come home now? Looks like you were a step too late.
This is what happens when you abandon your duty as a wife and goof around. I don't have time for your lecture now. Did you take the wedding dress away, Carrie? I need it for the wedding tomorrow. Please return it now.
I can give it back, but I don't think you would want it anymore because it's become rags now.
What do you mean, rags?
I ripped it up with scissors. It's now a ragged dress. It's more suitable for an uneducated woman. Now the dress is gone, how could you hold the wedding tomorrow?
What did you say? Ripped it up with scissors? The wedding is tomorrow, and you ripped the wedding dress to shreds? Why did you do that?
I wanted to ruin the wedding in your face.
What?
My precious son Tom is getting married to an uneducated woman who didn't even finish school properly. I couldn't stand the thought of it, and yet he even registered the marriage without telling me. And now he's decided to hold the wedding without discussing it with me. I really don't want it to happen.
I don't understand. Do you think you have the right to do that just because you're not happy with the wedding? I only have one day until the wedding.
You made that dress, didn't you? That means you won't have to pay anyone even if it's ruined. It was your handmade dress. And you have no time to make another one now. No wedding dress, no wedding ceremony. You'd be held responsible for the dress and you'd lose face. Hopefully, Tom will be annoyed and get you divorced. Then, you'll be kicked out of our place. Yes, that's what I thought.
Excuse me, but are you serious? You're acting so foolish. Did your hatred for me fry your brain or something?
What a rude and foul-mouthed thing to say. Why did he marry such a woman? He's a nice boy just like his father, but he clearly doesn't have his father's keen eye for choosing a good woman. He went and fell for a bratty girl like you who can't even do housework.
I can't help but be blunt. Your mysterious behavior is driving me insane. Do you realize how much effort it took me to make that dress? An entire year. I designed it, I stitched it together by hand. I invested all my passion and skill into it. And now you've torn it to shreds for no reason? Damn it all!
What's the point? I don't like the way you work either. I don't know if you're a designer or a seamstress. They're just minor jobs around the house.
We're not discussing my job here. I mean, it's none of your business.
You're so cocky. I really don't like it.
What are you really going to do tomorrow? Mia is looking forward to it. The dress and the wedding.
Well, I'm sure Tom and Mia are looking forward to it too. If you don't have the dress, then we have no choice. If you had kept an eye on it, it wouldn't have been ripped to shreds. It's all your fault.
What kind of messy shifting of responsibility is that? I can't believe you ruined your niece's wedding to bully your son's wife. It's disgusting.
What? My niece?
Mia is Tom's cousin. In other words, your niece, right? You ruined her dress. I really feel sorry for her. A wedding is the once-in-a-lifetime event for the couple. Then her aunt, of all people, has ripped up her dress and ruined it. She will be devastated. I don't know how I can face her.
What? What are you talking about? Mia's wedding is next month, right?
Huh? No, it's not.
Isn't it your and Tom's wedding tomorrow?
No, our wedding is next month.
Huh? Why? What? Tomorrow is your and Tom's wedding, and next month is Mia's wedding, isn't it?
No, it's not. Tomorrow is Mia's wedding. Don't tell me you were mistaken.
No way. Then that dress...
It's Mia's. She ordered it knowing I'm a fashion designer. I put all my skills into making it for Tom's lovely cousin. But you ripped it to shreds in a moment.
You are telling a lie.
Huh? You really didn't know? I thought it was because you didn't like Mia's marriage. And maybe you planned to get rid of me, claiming I'm responsible for canceling her wedding.
I wouldn't do it to her. I wanted to cancel your wedding, not Mia's.
But you were talking ill about uneducated women's marriage. I thought Mia is one of them in your mind. She is not highly educated. She's a high school graduate. But she has a cooking license and has a fine job at a nice restaurant. And she's getting married to a man who graduated from college and works for a major company. I thought you were against her being a working wife and looked down on her lack of education.
It's only you that I hate for that. You are a middle school graduate.
What? I had higher education than that. I'm a college graduate.
Huh? No way. You can't possibly have a college degree. You can only do some trivial work from home.
Not really some trivial work, I guess. I'm a fashion designer. That's why I have a college degree in clothing design.
Bullshit. I heard from your classmates. They said you quit high school halfway through. It means you only graduated from middle school.
It's true that I quit going to that high school, but I earned my credits and received my diploma. I prioritize preparations for my future over graduating from high school. First of all, I needed to learn a foreign language.
Learn a foreign language?
I went to a college in Italy. I came back to the US after graduation to work as a designer. I can show you my diploma if you want.
What? If that's the case, you should have told me earlier. Why didn't you tell me?
When I visited your house the other day, I explained it to you thoroughly. Jack and Tom were very understanding about my background and the nature of my work. But you only caught the part that I'm working from home, and you just misunderstood the whole thing from what you heard.
Shut up. Are you saying it's my fault?
I don't care about me right now. What are you going to do about Mia's dress? The wedding is tomorrow. You stole the key to our house from Mia, and you broke into our house and ripped off her dress. It looks like you really hate her. How are you going to explain this?
I don't know. I tore it off thinking it was yours. I didn't mean to tear up Mia's dress. It's your fault for leaving it there. It's not my fault.
You're not even going to apologize. Mia has been kind to me, and I feel like she's my sister, so I spent a year making this dress just for her. And you stole it like a thief, and even tore it to pieces. And what is that logic you are not guilty because you thought it was my dress? You're the worst, the most vicious, and the dumbest.
Shut up. Who do you think you are to talk to me like that? Ah, I have an idea. I just tell everybody that you did all this.
Huh?
Mia ordered a wedding dress, but you couldn't make it by the due date, so you just tore it. What kind of a designer is that? Now your reputation is ruined. You'll have no choice to get a divorce and disappear from our lives.
I'm speechless. You know what?
I have recorded this message thread from the middle of the conversation. I will show this to Tom, Mia, and her husband, and your husband, Jack, and I will decide how to handle it from now on. What? A recording? That's not fair. Not fair? Seriously? Think about what you've done before you say anything. I will never forgive you. You're the one who will disappear from our lives. I sent the recorded message thread to all the parties concerned. Jack, Tom, and Mia's husband were furious and rushed to Carrie. She was thrust divorce papers, and Tom declared that he cut ties with her. Mia's family also declared their insulation. Afterwards, she was charged for the cost to rent the wedding dress and the compensation for the dress she ripped. She had to pay for them with her own pocketbook and money from selling brand bags and other items. She became extremely poor and was evicted from the house alone. Her relatives were aware of the incident, and no one would help her. She is now working part-time to make ends meet. Later, at our wedding, we invited Jack. He apologized about what Carrie had done. I am relieved to know that he intends to watch over me and Tom's married life.
Hi, this is Miss Skylar Norris, right? I'm Lydia, working at Jonathan's company.
Okay.
Oh, sorry for suddenly hitting you up. You must be freaked out. Been trying to call you forever, but you weren't picking up at all.
Oh, yes, I noticed a bunch of missed calls. They were from unknown numbers. And I was out until just a bit ago, so...
It's okay. Anyway, I'm glad we're chatting now.
So, Lydia, right?
Yep. Jonathan's been very nice, taking good care of me, you know.
So, what does an employee of my husband need from me? It looks like he hasn't made it home yet. Is there some trouble at work or something?
Oh, nothing like that. He's actually with me in my apartment right now.
Wait, what?
You still haven't figured it out?
Are you cheating with my husband?
Oh no, there's no cheating going on here. We're deeply in love. We're legit lovers, you know.
Lovers? I mean, you know he's my husband. So aren't you just the other woman by definition?
Please. I'm his main squeeze.
Uh-huh, sure. And? What does his main squeeze want?
Come on, let him go already.
Let him go?
Divorce him, pronto. We're so troubled by you.
Huh? How exactly am I causing trouble for you guys?
Jeez, you're so slow to get it, lady. It's because an old lady like you keeps clinging on, we can't get married even though he wants to. We're madly in love, but we can't proudly call ourselves husband and wife all because you're in the way.
Oh, I see.
To top it off, I'm pregnant now.
Pregnant?
Of course, the bun in the oven belongs to him. I'm 7 months along.
What? That big already?
I know, right? That's why I'm in a hurry. I don't want the baby to end up fatherless, you know. I've been begging him to hurry up and divorce you, but he's still dragging his feet. He's probably scared of you. That's why he can't bring it up. So, I'm reaching out to you directly.
I see. But how did you even get my number?
Well, while he was drunk and passed out, I sneaked a peek at his phone.
Oh.
Guess what? You know his phone password? It's my birthday. He loves me too much, I swear.
Okay, but giving his password to a side piece? Seriously.
It just goes to show how close we are. Listen, just give up on him already. He's a rich CEO living in a huge house. He's better suited for a young, pretty thing like me, you know?
Well, I guess if you're pregnant, what else to do?
See? So please, for the sake of the baby, hurry up and divorce him.
I get where you're coming from. Let me talk to him for a bit, okay? Just hang tight.
Sure thing. If it means he'll hurry up and divorce, I'm all for it.
Jonathan, it's lunch break, right? I need to talk to you for a sec. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, if it's just for a bit.
So, you didn't come home last night, huh?
Oh, sorry. I got held up with some trouble with one of our clients. So I decided to just stay at the office.
Yeah, right.
Huh?
I got a message from a girl, Lydia, last night.
Who?
You know, the one working at your company?
Oh, yeah, I think I remember her.
Don't play dumb. She said you two are lovers. You were at her place all night yesterday, weren't you?
Well, it's not exactly like that.
You don't need to cover it up anymore. She's saying she's pregnant with your child.
I'm sorry.
How old is she anyway? If her profile picture is anything to go by, she looks pretty young.
I think she's around 25 or something.
Unbelievable. You're almost 50, aren't you? Cheating with someone almost the same age as your own kid? Seriously?
I never thought I'd end up dating someone that young either. But she was the one who came on to me.
Who made the first move doesn't matter. What about the promise you made to me?
Oh.
You promised you wouldn't cheat again, remember? You even cried, apologizing on your knees. You really never learn, huh?
Oh, well, you know, there were some other things.
Are you underestimating me? I said if it happened again, we'd get divorced.
Come on, please, spare me the divorce talk.
I understand. You're supposed to be a CEO, and here you are knocking up a girl half your age and divorcing your wife. That's a real hit to your credibility.
You're totally right. So please, don't bring up divorce.
What about that girl then? She's already 7 months pregnant, right?
Man, this is a mess. She kept it a secret from me. When I found out, she was already 6 months along. Too late to do anything but have the baby.
So, what do you want to do then? Are you planning on leaving her to be a single mom?
As harsh as it sounds, I think that might be the only option. Maybe I'll acknowledge the child and pay child support or something. What do you think I should do?
Don't ask me. I'm so tired. She's pregnant with your child, so you need to take responsibility. You should marry her and do right by her.
But I don't want to get divorced.
I'm so fed up with this marriage with you.
Come on, just not divorce, please.
Depending on the terms, I'll consider it an amicable divorce.
Huh?
Basically, as long as your cheating doesn't come to the public knowledge, it's fine, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Then I'll come up with a decent excuse, and we'll call it an amicable split. And what if you get remarried before the child is born? I won't ask for alimony, just property division. How about that?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I thought you'd demand a hefty sum.
You're about to have a child, right?
Well, raising kids costs money, so it's a relief for me. You don't really get anything out of this, you know?
Well, there's the perk of finally ditching a cheating husband.
Okay.
This isn't your first time, you know. I'm tired of hearing from your side pieces. Our son's grown up now. There's no point in us staying married.
Are you sure about this?
Just take your stuff and let's split cleanly.
Hold on. What are the conditions? They're not shady, right?
There's only one condition. Don't contact your side piece until we sign and submit the divorce papers.
What? That's it? And you'll divorce just for that?
No meetings, no calls, no texts, nothing. And can you handle that for a little while?
Of course.
And if you want to keep your affairs on the down low, it's best to leave as little evidence as possible.
That's true.
So, what'll it be? Divorce or not?
I'll do it. I'll divorce you. If my cheating stays hidden, I'm divorcing, darn it.
All right, let's get it started then.
Thanks, Skylar. I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused you. I put you through all this for my own reasons.
I won't have to suffer from your affairs anymore.
I'm truly sorry. But I feel so relieved now. There's still so much life ahead of us. Let's both find happiness.
Hi, Lydia.
Oh, Skylar. Been waiting for your update. So, you're seriously divorcing Jonathan, right? When are you gonna file it? Tomorrow? The day after?
Whoa, slow down. Let me confirm something with you first.
What now?
Do you realize you've been messing around with a married man? I mean, you put your hands on a man with a wife.
Oh, trust me, I know that. The fact that he's off limits makes him even more attractive, you know. Plus, he's a CEO. If he was single and just an ordinary employee, I might not have gotten involved this much.
I see. I wonder how he'd feel if he heard that line.
So, when exactly are you planning to file for a divorce?
Before we talk about it, you need to settle things with me first.
Settle things? Does that mean you want money?
Oh, you catch on quick.
Payoff money or something?
Exactly. I plan on asking for a fair amount. Can you even afford it?
All right, let's see. What if I throw in $100,000?
$100,000? You're aiming high.
But that should be enough, right? It might be more than the going rate. But considering that soon you'll be dumped by your wealthy husband and spend a miserable old age alone, I'll offer you $100,000 as a payoff to divorce your CEO hubby.
Wow, that's surprising. You're quite generous. It makes things easier for me. But you're only 25 and your salary isn't all that high, right? Are you sure about the amount?
It's totally fine, I'm sure. It's a peanut for a CEO, right?
A peanut, huh?
Well, it's for the sake of his beloved girlfriend. I'm sure he'll easily shell out $100,000.
Wow, okay. Well, if you're sure about it, then I won't object.
Yay! So you're really gonna divorce him?
You'll pay the entire sum up front, right?
All up front?
You don't want to be connected to me for years with payments, do you?
True. I don't want to keep paying you even after we get married. I'll give you the lump sum.
Great. I'll draft up an agreement stating that. Just sign it and send it back, okay? Once I get it, we can get the divorce process rolling right away.
Sounds good. I'll whip it up and send it over, so get this divorce done pronto. $100,000 is a small price to pay to marry him.
So I got the settlement agreement yesterday. Just so you know, I've already filed for a divorce.
Yay! Finally, I can start planning a wedding. Now, all the money, assets, and that big house will be mine.
Congratulations. Now you can do whatever you like.
Thank you so much. Jonathan will officially become a dad. I'm sure our baby is thrilled too.
Yeah, give birth to a healthy baby, okay?
Thanks, Skylar. You're really kind, you know. Even though your husband got another woman pregnant.
The baby isn't to blame.
Yeah, I guess so. But you're gonna have a tough time from now on, huh? From the wife of a CEO to just a dumped old lady? Please, spend the settlement money carefully for your retirement.
Yeah. Speaking of money, there's something I've been wondering about.
What is it? I'll pay the $100,000, of course. He's a wealthy CEO after all.
But he's just an employed CEO, you know.
Employed? What do you mean?
He has the title of CEO, but he doesn't actually own the company.
Okay.
There's someone else who owns it. Even though he's the CEO, he's in a salaried position. Well, he's more like a well-paid employee, I guess.
But even so, the CEO is CEO. He's wealthy, right?
Well, it's very unfortunate. His savings are completely empty.
How's that possible?
He's cheated 5 times now.
What? You're making that up.
Oh, didn't you know? Well, I guess it's stupid to say something like that. There were 4 other women like you who've come after me. All his side pieces.
OMG! He said he only loved me.
Of course, he's broken up with the previous one. I'd hint at alimony and he'd apologize and break up right away. Or when they found out he had no assets, they'd leave him. I'd give them a reality check about the age difference and they'd snap out of it. Well, when you think about it, there's really no benefit to being with him. If he pays a hefty alimony, what you get is a broke old man in his 50s.
Wait a sec. I didn't know any of it.
Every time his infidelity was exposed, I made him pay me. So all his salary would disappear. He even had to sell all his valuable items and his car to pay me.
Oh no!
He still won't stop cheating. It's just plain stupid, isn't it?
But wait! He has that amazing house. If worst comes to worst, we could sell the house.
That's out of the question.
Why? It's such a beautiful and splendid house, it's bound to sell for a lot.
It's in my name.
No.
When his 4th affair came to light, he changed it to my name. The mortgage is still in his name, though.
You're kidding!
So, if I divorce him, all he'll have left is his monthly income and the house loan.
Wait, so how are we going to pay the $100,000 then? He was supposed to cover it all.
How are you going to pay? That's what I want to know. Just to be clear, I won't accept installments. You better pay it all up front, even if you have to borrow money.
That's impossible. We're about to have a baby.
You've got some nerve, you know. Saying you'll buy him with just $100,000. You'll be 70 years old by the time your kid turns 20.
No. I don't want him. Take him back.
No return. Sorry.
Please have mercy. I don't need a washed-up old man with only loans left.
Oh, dear. You already signed the settlement agreement. So you can't say you can't pay now, can you? I'll be waiting for the payment. Goodbye.
Hey, Skylar. What did you say to Lydia? Something about money? What's that all about?
I only spoke to her about the settlement money, you know.
Settlement? You said you wouldn't ask for money.
I said I wouldn't ask it from you. I didn't say anything about not asking from her.
Seriously, How much did you ask for?
$100,000.
$100,000? That's way too much.
She offered it to me herself.
No way. She can't possibly have that much money.
She was planning to make you foot the bill.
What?
Because you're a CEO. She thought you were loaded. So I told her the truth. You don't have any money or assets left. All you have is the mortgage loan.
Loan? What do you mean?
Oh, don't tell me you forgot. I have the house under my name now. You've been living in it, so you probably thought it was still yours.
Darn it.
Now you understand why I settled for just property division? You don't have anything left for me to squeeze out of you anymore.
Wait, listen, Skylar.
What?
Can we, maybe forget about the divorce? Let's talk this through one more time.
There's no need to talk it through again. The divorce is final.
But I don't want it.
You're going to marry that girl, right? And the baby's due soon.
Seriously, wait. $100,000 is just ridiculous.
She says she'd pay. Don't complain to me.
Why? Why is this happening?
What are you asking after what you've done? Well, just pay the settlement. I'm moving out soon.
You're moving?
Jordan and his wife in Denver are asking me to move in with them. So I'm selling the house and the car, and I'm moving there.
Denver? When did he move there? Wait, his wife? When did he even get married?
Oh, right. You really don't know anything, do you? You always left parenting to me. And when he got married, you were having an affair and rarely came home. He was so disappointed that he didn't invite you to the wedding.
Jeez.
By the way, they're having a baby soon. Did you know?
No.
His wife works, so she wants me to help with the baby. Well, it's none of your business, I guess.
Okay, then I'll go to Denver with you.
What are you talking about? You have a job. Just work hard and focus on raising the next one, okay? Jonathan kept pestering me with calls and messages, but I ignored them all. He and Lydia ended up having a huge fight over the settlement money issue. In the end, he had to borrow from somewhere and pay it off. They did get married and their baby was born, but he couldn't forgive Lydia for making the promise to pay the huge amount of money without consulting him. Their marriage became strained and eventually divorced. Furthermore, his misconduct with female employees came to light, resulting in him being fired as CEO. He lost his family, his job, and his money. It was a tragic outcome. As for Lydia, she quit her job and went back to her hometown to raise the child. Her parents and relatives found out about her affair with a married man for money, and she's been living with a sense of shame nowadays. As for me, I've moved to Denver, where my son and his wife live. We get along well, and I'm enjoying my new life. When my grandchild comes along in the near future, I'll be even happier. Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.